Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video. Volume 12 Chapter 6 BAZAAR Part 1 8th Day. We got down from the ledge and headed towards the BAZAAR. Looking from above, the BAZAAR was like a donut. The tents surrounding the lake were like frosting, and surrounding those were bits of green. I haven't eaten such a pastry in a long time. We finally arrived. You're right, even though it's only been 10 days, it felt like such a long time. Probably because of all the monsters. The ground was not a desert. The earth was reddish-brown, with fist-sized rocks spread about. The ground may be similar to that of the magic continent. Thanks to that, it was fairly easy to walk. The temperature also dropped considerably. From the ledge to here, there was a great difference. By the time we reached the BAZAAR, it was evening. Bats were flying around over the reddish earth. Thinking there was a succubus, I put myself on guard, but the bats did nothing but fly. They neither dove for an attack, nor was there a succubus in their midst. These were just bats. However, even though we're close to the BAZAAR, there may be monsters. We moved while being alert. When we got close to the BAZAAR, a cry of a griffin could be heard. We became even more wary. What was that? They must be fighting. Elinalise said that while looking ahead. I still couldn't see where. Who? Dunno. I got a blunt reply when I asked that. We got closer to the BAZAAR. Then, we saw several people in griffins. 4 humans. 5 griffins. No, to be exact, it wasn't 4 people. It was 6. 2 people were on the ground. In addition, 1 person was crouching while holding his head. The rest were in the middle of battle with the griffins. 3 versus 5. The remaining 3 were coordinating well with swinging their broadswords. However, I could grasp that they were quite fatigued. Shall we assist? When I asked Elinalise, she shrugged her shoulders. So which is it? I'll leave that to you. Leaving them to die would make me feel guilty. Why not help them out? Let's save them. Understood. Cover me, Roger. Elinalise broke into a run. At the same time, I shot out magic at the griffin that was in the air. Bullseye. It probably wasn't paying attention to me. However, it seems it took evasive action at the last minute. It avoided instant death. With its feathers scattered, the griffin fell. There, as if Elinalise was dancing, she stabbed it in the neck. I continued to fire off rock bullets one after another. I took down the second one with a single blow. The third one avoided it. The griffins noticed my presence. However, in front of them were armed men. And there was also Elinalise, who is skilled in defense, beside me. That being the case, I could shoot out magic all I want. We won't be losing now. We steadily beat them down. QE. The last remaining one was trying to run away. I shot out a rock bullet at its back and finished it off. I can't afford to let a wounded beast get away. The battle was over. I went together with Elinalise towards the group. Is it finished? The man who was crouched while holding his head looked up. He looked around restlessly, then let out a sigh of relief. The group of warriors fighting the griffins approached us. What are you doing? Hurry up and look. Amongst the men, a warrior was giving out instructions. The person who received them ran off somewhere at full speed. Seriously, what a disaster. Why are griffins here? The man giving out orders carried the remaining 2, and looked at us. You've saved us. I'm grateful. The man giving out orders wore something like a yellow gown on top of a red robe. He had a red dot marked on his forehead. He really looks the part of a merchant of the desert. He had a long and skinny mustache. However, it wasn't majestic. It gave off a feeling like it's an accessory. I felt a bit relieved. Not at all, it's times like these that we have to help each other. Normally you'd just abandon us. Since he thanked me in fighting god language, I replied back in the same. It looks like they can understand, and it got through to them. Seems like we'll be fine. May you be graced with the blessing of the winds. Saying only that, he turned back, and walked towards the place where the comrades had fallen. The remaining 2 were clad in red armor. Their bottom half had something like a skirt with thick loincloth hanging down. They were more heavily armed compared to warriors on the central continent. Hanging from their waist was a big curved sword. It was thick and wide. It easily surpassed the length of a meter. I often saw swords like this when I was on the magic continent. They were probably effective against large monsters. Their swords were big, and their armor was thick. I wonder if that was why they couldn't match up against the quick and nimble griffins. A magician? Huh, that's unusual. A big man murmured. A large tattoo on his face. An eye patch on his left eye. His height was close to 2 meters. He seems to be about 40. His behavior seemed as if he had tons of experience, bro. This person, maybe she's a succubus? There was a girl on their side. She said that while staring at Elinalise. Dark-skinned, wearing chest armor and loincloth-like skirt. While I couldn't see underneath her clothes, she seems like she has a lot of muscle. She seems to be in her early 20s. Less than what are you saying? Greater than Elinalise didn't understand their words, and looked puzzled. She doesn't understand fighting god language. Less than, is she a succubus, you say? Greater than, less than, well, it's not uncommon that she would get mistaken for one. Greater than, less than, shall I confirm it? Greater than, less than, but she isn't giving off a stinky smell. Greater than, less than, well, to men, it's a smell of pleasure. Greater than, the big man hit the girl on the head. Fool. Like there's a succubus that'll accompany a man. For someone that saved you. What's with that way of speaking? But, bro, when the bats were flying, when you saw her, you said you thought she's a succubus. The girl being hit was crying out in a pathetic voice. It was hard to understand her words. Maybe she's got a strong accent. While I could pick up a few words here and there, I felt a bit uneasy. Geez, that's why you get called a blockhead. The tone of the man facing her was normal. Clear, not sure if that's a good way to describe it, but for me, I could easily listen to his fighting god language. Phew. The big man sighed. Then he looked down at Elinalise and apologized. I'm sorry, please don't take offense. This person, she's Karumarita, but she's a moron. Elinalise looked at me with a troubled face. She couldn't understand what he was saying. Less than, what did he say? Is he courting me or something? Greater than, less than, the girl beside him called you a succubus, and he's apologizing. Greater than, less than, ah, I see. I forgive him. Greater than, with a smile that could charm a man, Elinalise smiled at the big man. I could tell that face of the big man turned red. It seems she's not worried about it. I see. Does that woman not understand our words? Yes. I'm an interpreter. The big man looks at Elinalise bluntly. I could more or less get what he was thinking. Probably something like, that's a nice girl. Or perhaps, she's got no breasts. Elinalise probably didn't mind this at all, as she's used to being gazed like that. She even had a boastful atmosphere. The man broke off his gaze from Elinalise, and looked at me. I'm Barabatum. Let me thank you again. I'm Rudeus Grarit. This is Elinalise. I see, if anything happens, hey, what are you guys standing about for? Someone was shouting at Barabatum. It was the man from before. Hurry up and look for the cargo. Pardon me. I'll thank you later for sure. Barabatum and Karumarita went to the side of the man. Those three were discussing things briefly. But they quickly split into two groups and went off. All in the blink of an eye. Oh, how frank. Even though they could at least say thanks. Elinalise was grumbling. It's not like she wanted a reward or anything. The wounded are left here. Huh. I looked at the people who were on the ground. If they need treatment, I could use healing magic if necessary. When I was thinking of that, are they dead? To begin with, they didn't even show the attitude of wanting to be treated. Was it that obvious? These people are quite young. One was a young girl. She must be about 18 years old. Her head must have been smashed by the griffin's beak. There was a large hole on her forehead. It was instant death. On this continent, I wonder if it's a custom to leave the dead behind. That doesn't seem to be the attitude of adventurers. They didn't look like adventurers, though. While conversing, I burnt them with magic and buried them. To not give their comrades a burial, how heartless. The warrior from before, I think he was named Barabatum. He said he would thank us later. But, we hadn't even asked the name of that mustached master. Without telling us his contact info, how is he supposed to thank us? Don't tell me, is he going to look for us? Is he going to track us down, then tell us to come get our reward? Is it that kind of culture? Well, it's fine. He probably didn't want to give us thanks from the beginning. I'm just a good-hearted person. Well then, let's go. Yeah. Thus, we arrived at the bazaar. That's it guys, thank you for watching, subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.